I am a recording artist by the name of Stormy. I'm from Johnson City, Tennessee. Um, I'm a vocalist, I'm an engineer, producer, um, videographer as well. I've always been, since I was little, interested in like music, specifically like hip hop music. My brother and I, when we were younger, used to freestyle a lot, just for fun. As I got into middle school, my best friend and I, we both were into just like freestyle comedy and stuff like that. Eventually, I got a MacBook and I got really serious about recording right around 7th grade. So ever since then, I've just been kind of mastering my craft as far as like trying to engineer my own stuff.
Can you kind of explain like what Goldmine is?
Yeah, Goldmine is an art collective. It consists of a group of artists. It started with just my brother and I. Myself being the recording artist, my brother being a DJ, producer, entrepreneur. But as Goldmine has progressed, we provide clothing. So we're a clothing line, but we also have a painter. We have live instrumentation. We have people that come and play guitar, this, that, and the third. So we're really trying to branch out and just incorporate as much artists, specifically people that are around here, and trying to branch out and be an art collective rather than just a record label. We're trying to be something that is has more dimensions than just being a record label.
Can you tell me about your experience and like how you feel about like hip hop music and art in general in like Johnson City, Upper East Tennessee area?
Um, Hip hop music around here, and I usually try to stay on a positive note. But as far as like from my personal experience, hip hop music around here, it's a lot of crab in a barrel type of mentality where everyone is trying to rise to the top while simultaneously pulling each other down. Um, what I've tried to do as I get older is provide experience and just exposure for artists that I like. So outside of all of the negativity I'm seeing as I get older, there's a lot of positivity as far as like artists that are genuinely talented trying to work together to help each other. I think there are a lot of really great artists that are on the come up right now that as we continue to work together and collaborate, that we will eventually bubble up and rise to the top. Yeah.
Do you think um do you think there's like enough opportunity for that? I know like there's only like so much you can do, at least from my experience.
Yeah.
Um in this area, like do you think like there is opportunity to like make it and be successful like as an artist in this area?
I think it depends on who you are as a person. Depends on how you market yourself. Um, Me specifically in Goldmine, the way that we've kind of marketed ourselves, we can fit into different demographics. We can go perform at the Hideaway, which is predominantly like a heavy metal venue. We could go perform at 50/50. Um, there is opportunity, and something that I've tried to capitalize on is what seems to be the lack of opportunity here. Meaning, we might be in a small town in Johnson City, Tennessee, but there's an effect that you can have as far as being a big fish in a small pond. So when you're making big moves in a place like this, then you create your own opportunity when people see how big the moves that you can make in a small town. So I do think there is opportunity here. Yeah.
Dang, I like that like point of view.
Yeah.
What hopes you have like for the future of like Goldmine
What
and
hopes?
in general? Yeah, like where do you see yourself? Like where you trying to go?
I see, like I said before, I see Goldmine growing to be an art collective that kind of transcends being any type of record label. I think that Goldmine is something that my brother and I are still kind of realizing as far as our goal. Obviously, we want to make a living out of what we're doing. But I see Goldmine turning into just a curator of content. And I want to see Goldmine turn into a platform for people like me to gain exposure just off of pure talent. Eventually, Goldmine will have a full website that will act as a platform for creators. So, I mean, that's our goal moving forward, is to be able to create that kind of platform for us.
Can you like tell me about like any projects that you have coming up, like
Yeah.
music stuff?
I'm putting out a music video today for Ocean Drive. We just went and shot the music video in South Beach, like down in Miami. Currently, I'm working on Watch Me Paint 3. I've done Watch Me Paint 1, Watch Me Paint 2. Watch Me Paint 3 is just kind of a really focused album that is focused on ascending everything I've done before, trying to rise to a higher level, trying to collaborate with a lot of people I've not collaborated with yet. So I'm actively working on that. I don't have a date for it yet, but it's coming very soon, within the coming months.
So since you're working on like a third volume of the series, what changes have you seen in your music and in yourself?
With the separate volumes, or just with putting out this specific project?
Like in the separate volumes, like the group.
Okay. Well, to start off, when I put out Watch Me Paint 1, I didn't know there was going to be a Watch Me Paint 2. I hadn't planned on doing that, and I definitely didn't know there was going to be a Watch Me Paint 3. To tell the truth, I kind of went through a little bit of like an internal battle when I was working on the first Watch Me Paint, because I wasn't sure if I could completely produce a project myself. It's something I'd never done before. I'd done a couple songs here and there. It's something that I wasn't super confident in myself. After I put out that first project and completely produced it, because I was torn between adding stuff that I had that I hadn't produced. After I put out something that I completely produced, what changed in myself as an artist is the confidence that I could actually do that. So here I am, almost tripling the expectation that I had created for myself, the goal I'd set for myself. So as I'm putting out each volume, I'm growing as an artist as far as like my confidence in my own production and engineering. I'd say that's probably the biggest change that I've seen thus far.
So I've like heard you talk about your brother a lot. Like, tell me about like y'all's relationship and like the impact that he's had, and vice versa.
I'd say one thing that definitely should be noted with my brother is we are basically the same person. He's about 5 years older than me, but him and I have always had similar mentalities about what we want out of life. I'd say my brother, being my older brother, has given me a lot of perspective on how to turn what I'm doing as an art into a living. My brother adds a business aspect to Goldmine, into my mentality that I wouldn't have had without him. On top of that, he is a DJ that I feel like, as far as when we do live shows, is able to match the energy that I have, and I really feel like his proficiency as a DJ kind of matches my skill level as an artist. So I feel like that's what he brings to the table as far as Goldmine and everything like that.
Sweet. I think my kind of last question or comment, whatever you want to take this, is just like, what would you like have to say to like upcoming artists in this area, or just in general? Like, what would be your piece of advice?
I would say the biggest advice that I've learned is to really obviously you want to build a team that's going to be able to benefit but you should definitely need to put everything in your own hands. And what I mean by saying that is, like, I'll engineer my music, I'll do all the recording myself, I'll produce it. But as an artist, I mean, it's kind of your obligation to give your own perspective and give as much as you can from your own space of expression. And I'd say that's the biggest advice that I could give, is just do as much as you can yourself. Put your own hands on as much as you can, because that's the only way I feel like you're going to be 100% happy with what you're doing. And just trust yourself, because, I mean, if you didn't have that desire to express yourself, then you wouldn't be creating.
Like, where can people like find you and your music?
Okay, you could find me on Apple Music, Spotify. If you go on there and type in Stormy, Watch Me Paint, or you could go on there and type in Stormy 7, my albums will come up on all major streaming platforms. You can find me on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/gold_mine. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram at Triple Lung Blues.
Nothing coming from you, baby. I know it. Nothing coming when you moving. nothing.